Hi, I'm Steve, head coach at LMI Fitness.
And I'm Anna, general manager.
And the question we wanted to answer today is, what is LMI Fitness? What does it mean? And why do we call our business that?
Yeah, so this was actually the name of the business that was initially in our minds many years ago, before we even started thinking about what to name the CrossFit division of it.
Right, yeah, so we created an LMI, like-minded individuals group, in 2011, I think? And because it was just a bunch of us working out together as kind of with the same goals, the same idea of just being healthier and better adults.
And realizing that it's not just about the hour in the gym and working out, it's going out from there and living our lives in a conscious manner of just trying to be more aware of health and how we're moving through the world, both movement, what we consume, how we interact with people.
And I think it also boils down to our why behind our fitness. For me, being able to do really cool, really fun things is huge for me. I like to be able to be a big kid, essentially. And so, I want to find people who want to do really cool things. They might be kind of hard and sometimes a little bit scary, but it's kind of fun to think like a kid again.
Essentially, we're looking for other people who can keep up with us.
Right? Which isn't that hard, but it can be. We do a lot of different varied things.
Yeah. So LMI can mean different things for each of us, and Steve already touched on that a little bit of why he does what he does, the why behind his fitness. Do you have anything more to say about that?
It really boils down to wanting to be able to do it for as long as possible. I love the quote, I want to die young as late as possible. And that really defines why I work out. I want to be able to do things, and fitness and training is where we practice those things. And that's what this is. This is just a big playground, a big place to come in and practice the things that will help me be better.
Yeah, and for me, I get a lot of energy from being outside and being in a good mood, which that then requires that I'm not dying in whatever I'm doing. I want to feel able in doing that. And so the more that I'm able to do those things outside and have fun, whether that's hiking or skiing or playing different places in water, whatever it is, I like to be able to do that to maximize my enjoyment out there.
So yeah, that's LMI Fitness. That is what it means to us, and why we do this, because we want to bring those things to other people looking for those same things.
Yeah. And we've also realized over the years that while we still feel that way, we want to be able to die young as late as possible, essentially. Our approach maybe has changed a little bit, and how to go about that. How's yours?
Oh, absolutely. I used to go headlong, go hard, go fast, go intense. Crazy enough, every workout felt the same, felt painful. Now I'm realizing that life requires gears, and that's one of the big things that we tout in our programming, is that not everything is as fast as possible. Sometimes it's as fast as possible is paced sometimes.
Yeah, and for me, my fitness journey, I've had to go through different gears with it also for different reasons. Some of it is, when I first started out, I was a lot like Steve, is just go as hard as fast as possible. I want to be the best, do the best, lift the most hardcore as much as possible. But then I also maintain fitness through a pregnancy, which that's just not an option through that. So changing how I learned about lifting, about pacing, all sorts of things to be able to adapt to that. And then coming back from that, I initially wanted to do the same thing as hard and fast as possible, but realizing my body shifted and had to relearn those things.
I think that that kind of gearing thing goes for life, right? It's sometimes we sprint, and sometimes we're in a marathon, and sprinting's not so great in a marathon. So every once in a while in life, you kind of need those different paces as well, and your fitness falls into that. Your work, your almost everything in life falls into those spectrums, it seems like.
Yeah, and as much as we would have never chosen this for ourselves, COVID also forced a change. That has brought a new perspective and different way to approach fitness. And how did it change for you?
It slowed me down. I'm not signed up for as many things. I say no a lot more, and it's had a huge impact on my fitness. Obviously, I've lost nearly 20 pounds and changed my body fat percentage quite a bit. And so one might argue that my fitness has changed quite a bit since we do regularly test, and I'm blowing everything I've ever done out of the water, including strength, which is kind of rare when you're lighter.
Right? Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I'm stronger and lighter than I've ever been, and able to do things I've never done before.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say COVID has really been a huge thing.
Yeah.
For me, saying no a lot made a big difference.
Well, and initially, I do not like to work out at home, and I also do not like to work out alone. But there was a point at which it was just like I had to choose, like, is this something that I care about? Yes. So I need to make this work. And a lot like Steve's story, I was able to make it work. I also dropped about 20 pounds, and lots of changes in that time period, with also pulling back in my fitness. I did not come into the gym during COVID. I did the at-home workouts in my garage, in our basement. When I could be outside, I would be outside. I changed I started riding my bike more. I never really liked to ride my bike. Now I love it. And just pulling back more, kind of giving the space to realize priorities. I want to stay consistent with my fitness. I want to stay consistent with my nutrition to gain energy through a time that your energy is being sucked on a consistent basis.
And that's just life, right?
Yeah.
Life sucks your energy, and you have to find those things that re-energize you. And I think obviously working out is oddly one of those places that energizes me. It gives me a lot of energy, and maybe some people would argue it's the pre-workout. I don't know. I do take pre-workout, and people usually know it. If you've ever met me, you know that.
Hard to avoid.
Hard to avoid that. But it's not actually the pre-workout. It's the being able to do fun things, being able to push myself, and
like the ritual around
the workout. I mean, I even did it at home. In our garage, it was the same. I was the same crazy guy, really.
We brought the community into our neighborhood. There were plenty of times that our neighbors were like, "Oh, what are you guys doing in there?" We actually got to meet people because of that and talk to them.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy. So what are we doing? Speaking of COVID, how are we doing with COVID in our facility? I mean, gyms are supposedly one of the most dangerous places to be in the world during COVID. What are we doing?
Yeah, we band together with a lot of other gyms who wanted to be responsible around bringing people back into the gym, or take a step back, wanted to continue to serve their community with fitness. So obviously during COVID, we mentioned at-home workouts via Zoom in people's garages, outside, inside, wherever. Try to bring that on a consistent basis. But once we were back in the gym, we set up a whole set of protocols according to Colorado's mandates in Arapahoe County, and to keep people safe.
And we're still doing the at-home workouts for people too, right? I mean, every time we have a class, we still have that as an option. Obviously, people's gear and things change the application, so that's an interesting hoop to jump through as a coach. But yeah, I mean, walking into this facility, we realized that we have people in our community, in our gym, in our families, in our lives that might be at risk. So we kind of had to take those people in mind when we set things up. And yeah, the state and the city kind of mandate kind of what to do, but best practices are what we really base things off of, right? I mean, we when Arapahoe County or Tri-County Health mentioned that they were locking us back down again, going to stage 2, we realized we didn't have to change anything. We never really left stage 2 protocol, right? I mean,
we were already set up for that.
We're already there. We're limiting class sizes, masks all the time, temperature checks, cleaning, all of that's just part of what we do now.
Yeah.
And
it is slightly inconvenient, but it is truly not that hard. And if it means that we can continue to get fitness in our lives.
And we've had people who would seemingly be high risk tell us that they feel like the things we've done help them be safe.
They feel comfortable, and not only that, it allows them to practice their health. So, safe in the gym, but safe or healthy in the sense that they're continuing their fitness routine.
Right. Not everybody who walks in here, I know it's crazy, but not everybody is the perfect bill of health, right? I mean, this is where we come to change. This isn't where we come to show off how awesome we are. This is we're making the change. So we've got to hold this down for the weakest link in the chain.
And yeah, just create an environment that it's not only safe from COVID, but safe to make change.
Right? Mistakes, changes, learn. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to being a big kid again. We've got to be able to do things and play and do.
Yeah. And
we've got to be able to do it in a safe way.
So my one takeaway from how over the time, over years, over name change of the gym, over things like COVID, things like life changes, there's one thing that stayed consistent in my fitness routine, and that's just being consistent. Showing up.
Consistency was your consistent thing?
Yep.
That's amazing. It's profound even.
Right? I mean, it didn't matter if I was going crazy hard. It didn't matter if I pulled back a little bit to nurse an injury or recover from a pregnancy. What mattered was that I continued to show up.
Right, and that's the most important part, right? Of any change you want to make is find something you can do consistently. I would almost say, the big thing is to be better. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just have to do one thing better, right? The big thing that I've learned with COVID, and since I've slowed down, is I try to set it up so that, it really is just 1% better until that thing is just consistent, and I can't not do it. And then I can start looking at what the next change is.
What the next step is.
Right. I have to set it up so that I can't fail at that. It's just the thing I do. And so that was really the thing that kept me focused and probably helped me lose the weight and actually make the big change. I mean, we're kind of busy, so making changes is slow.
Yeah.